Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a quick little garden tour update, kind of some of our successes and failures. Not failures, experiments that maybe didn't do quite as well. But first we want to give every one of you the biggest, most heartfelt thank you.
Thank you guys.
Because
we done it.
We passed 1,000 subscribers. When you're watching this, it will have been a few days ago that we did it. But if you've not really watched some of our videos, I mean, yes, you know, when you hit the 1,000 subscribers, the 4,000 watch hours, you start getting paid for your videos. It's not a lot of money. We're not going to be,
yeah,
you know,
I'm not quitting my day job yet.
But it boosts us up in the algorithm and makes it so that we can reach more people. And that is what we're after. We love being able, we love the comments that we get that are, oh, you know, we're going to try that in our garden, or, you know, just that we love watching you. Our kids love watching you with the bunnies. We just want to reach people, you know, and we're doing it, and we can't do it without y'all. Every one of you that watch, like, subscribe, that tell people about us. I mean,
it's just been overwhelming.
We're humbled. We really are.
Extremely. And also, I'd like to add to, you know, reading the comments and getting feedback, that means a lot. And it's given us a lot of different ideas. I mean, I've had a way to do something in my head, and then, you know, I'll feel something different, or somebody suggests something different. I know one video, Ross Oliver man reached out and told me, hey, you don't want to use them big long nail on fence insulators because they break real easy. That was super helpful. And you know, I changed it. Done it right. And
we're not experts in anything.
No, we just ain't afraid of failure. Because we have Jesus Christ behind us, so we don't fail. And it's so awesome and rewarding. And like this little garden tour we're going to do, this year was rough, guys. It was a weird year. Everything started out normal in the spring, and then it got ready to go, and then it started raining, and then we got pushed back, and we got everything put in the ground a little late, not super late, but then it quit raining and it got dry,
hot and dry. And
then as soon as that, I mean, I was staying up on all the gardens doing great, and then it turned off muddy, and it never quit raining. And the weeds just grew like wildflower. As
you'll see with some of them, we'll take you and show you.
And they weren't, you know, like the green bean field. We didn't harvest one single green bean out of there. The weeds, between the weeds and the groundhogs,
the rabbits,
they robbed us. But we want to show you guys that even though that was not a success, it's a learning curve.
A learning experience.
Yeah.
We know at least certain things that we need to try to tweak for next year.
And I need to work on soil. My soil health down there is not real great. So that's one thing we're going to work on yet this year.
But we'll start up here with the tomato garden and just take you through a couple of ours. Right now, we're over here with the bees. It's nice to see. You can tell the weather's cooled down a bit, because if you watched either my short where I was feeding them the other day, or my chores video from a few days ago where all the bees were kind of swarmed up outside because they were so hot, you can see, oh, there's one carrying some pollen in. You can see it on his little legs, her little legs, several of them. That's awesome. Yeah. So, but they're out of their feed. So we're gonna take care of that real quick, and then we'll hop onto the garden videos. But again, just thank you, and
unbelievable.
We're not slowing down, y'all. I think when we started the channel, we didn't necessarily plan on doing a video every single day, and we have not missed a day. But it just kind of started happening, and then we got into the routine of it, and now just the thought of not doing a video feels weird.
Yeah, doing the videos has become like, hey, we have to.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's fun. It's something we really enjoy doing, even if there's some videos like the one that came out today, which it's a different day from when y'all are watching, but of just cleaning up in front of the store, getting ready for mums, you know. What we do every day is not necessarily thrilling, exciting stuff, but we want to be able to take y'all along in our daily life to show y'all, you know, the homesteading life. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to necessarily always keep a timeline to do things.
Right.
There are experiments. There are, you know, not as good experiments, but...
And another thing that I'd like to talk about, I've seen this more and more here in the last month or so. People talking about real homesteaders versus the Hollywood homesteaders. My look on that is the real homesteaders, yeah, you can take them and see them. I mean, you can tell a difference between production quality videos versus raw and real. I'm not knocking them Hollywood homesteaders.
they still work hard.
Yeah,
I mean,
what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they worked hard to get where they're at.
Absolutely.
And if I was given that choice to have all that paid production and all that, that would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
but that's not us.
Right.
So we call ourselves real homesteaders, raw and real.
I mean, we do things. Some of our projects, you know, may go unfinished for half a year, but we cash flow everything. We don't use credit cards. We don't, you know, put forth money in areas where we don't need to put forth money at the time. I mean, we do it when we're able to. And that's what's made us so successful just in the homesteading, you know, and what we've done.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not digging ourselves into a hole, and we're doing things slowly. But thank you all. And like I said, we're not slowing down. We're still going to pump out the content. You're still going to get to, you know, we have a lot of good things planned for the next year, a lot of big things for the homestead, and we are excited to share that with y'all. But that being said,
let's get these girls fed.
And then we'll bring you right back for the gardens. Okay.
Sorry. Failure number 1. Rock garden.
Not a failure, just a neglect.
Yeah. We just got busy with other things. The weeds took that over. I tried to kill all the weeds off with the plastic, clear plastic. I should have used a tarp so the sun can't get through. That's why it didn't kill off the grass like I was wanting it to. But here, real shortly, I'm going to be taking all the plastic up. I'm going to weed eat it all down. Put a clear plastic on, or a colored plastic, a tarp, and so I can kill it off, and then I'm going to put a cover crop for winter on that. It'll probably be in ryegrass.
We have had so much success with our tomatoes this year. If y'all watched any of the shorts about the juicing or talking about it, I mean, the plants are obviously looking a little sad right now. We had a few catch blight, but we put up, how many quarts would you say total of tomato juice?
We're up around 65 quarts.
And they were really slow coming, well, they were not slow coming on this year. They were slow turning. We had probably a couple hundred green tomatoes for the longest time. And then when they started turning, boy, they started turning.
Yeah.
But we had using the panels here. I love it. I don't ever want to do anything different going forward. It worked really well. We had all of our ladies supported. We use these little clips or zip ties. Zip ties work too in a pinch. But you can see I picked them pretty hard last night and ended up bumping a bunch of them to the ground. But
yeah, best tomato crop we've ever grown.
Yes, without a doubt.
So don't have to mark this one up. Success.
And we continue on. And if you can make any sense of this mess, heads or tails. Obviously, we had some sunflowers. None of our sunflowers did really well this year. We'll show you the sunflower field as well, but they grew great and they blossomed. They were great for a week and then they went downhill fast. I don't know if it's just the type of sun. We just bought a big 40-pound bag of the Niger sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
Next year we're gonna try some different varieties, but
okay, this row right here is still that you can almost kind of see the weeds ain't completely took over. These are dragon something green beans.
yeah, there you can kind of see they're really cool color.
Yeah, but you might think this looks like failure. It's not. I did not get these picked in time. They didn't produce very well. They did produce. So what I'm doing right now is I'm letting them seeds dry, go ahead and full maturity. That way I can dry them out and use them as seed for next year. So, hey, it's not a loss.
This next row, what used to be a row, was just the Romas. And half of the row didn't set up, they didn't take it all, and then the other half, our little wild rabbits, Vanna's boyfriends, decided to make dinner of a lot of them.
Yeah.
And we had several zucchini and yellow squash plants here, and they did good. They did well for a few weeks, and then they went downhill fast, and we lost them all.
Yeah.
But
hey, they produced, and I mean, we eat a lot of them, and so I can't be mad about it.
yeah, and we still have our little watermelon down there. It's not grown much, so it's been weeded out by now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then I had my cherry tomatoes here. You can see, if anyone's grown cherry tomato plants, you know they're very invasive. They grow very quickly and produce a lot, and it looks like there's a lot of waste there, and it is, you know, food for birds, but we ate so many cherry tomatoes with cottage cheese. Yummy. But we are gonna head down to the next garden, probably our garden of shame, which was the gourds. So let's head down there.
All right, guys, this garden here, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna have to give it a 1.
Because we were able to get some cucumbers out of the mix.
The cucumbers did okay. Not
for a little while,
stellar, but they did their job. They did okay. My loofahs, I never got a chance to get anything for them to climb on, so they stayed on the ground and the weeds overtook them. It just turned off there when I was doing such a good job with them, and then it just got wet and started raining. I couldn't get nothing in. The tractor in here.
The ground down here stays very wet.
But yeah, I had...
Well, before the gourds, we had our entire 2 rows of sunflower, a random pumpkin. We had our 2 rows of sunflowers going down, and there's a big old groundhog that lives somewhere in the barn or in all that crazy mess that will eventually get torn down, because that's where our goat pen will be. But the groundhog came and made work of every single one of those sunflowers and ate all the leaves, and they never headed out, never did anything like that.
Yeah, groundhog, he's a disaster.
But
well, hey, he has to eat too.
Yeah. And last year what we were expecting with the gourds, last year when we had the tomatoes and gourds and peppers down here, our 2 rows that we planted of gourds took over everything. I mean, they had 3 rows of peppers and 2 rows of tomatoes completely overtaken. We were expecting that this year. We thought that they would beat the weeds, but they didn't. We do have a killer volunteer gourd over here.
Yeah, we go to the mum field.
This thing has just taken over. I'm not gonna climb up in there too much, but you can see on the fence there, it's 3 big old ones. I mean, there's gourds all over the place down here.
Yeah, there's 2 nice birdhouse gourds.
And then
there's a snake gourd somewhere I've seen.
So we just decided to let this go crazy. I mean, we will have a small gourd crop, but
yeah, nothing like we had last year.
And then this one over here, I'm pretty sure this is a separate plant. I don't know if it's gourds or pumpkins.
This is gourd. And then we'll bring you up into here. You see these little puny mums here. These are the rebound from me messing the fertilizer up. But if you look out here, I mean, we got some nice mums this year.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is the last 2 years that we've sold them, is this our 4th year?
Yeah, I think so.
Fourth year.
Growing mums.
Well, you're about to step on one, Papa Bear.
It pushed me.
In the past, I always was very particular in trying to prune them down and everything. And this year I didn't do anything with them aside from attempt to fertilize them that one time. I've just let them do their thing and they are prospering. So that's what we'll do next year. Yeah. And as they open their blooms so I can see what color they are, the greenhouse did send us with the plugs a lot of all the little information cards, but half of them have blown out of the pots before the mums were able to really grow and protect them. But we sold our first 3 mums at the store on Saturday for the year, so that's awesome. And they'll be moving up there on the benches. That store front cleaning video that I had done, that's why we always set the mums up there. But
show them that bit.
He's a fatty.
Snake gourd right there.
Yeah, he'll get a lot longer.
Yeah, there's another snake gourd. There's another one.
Yeah, there's gourds. We'll have a decent, there's still, yeah. This will be a decent crop for us. Volunteer, you know.
Yeah, volunteer. All right, guys, we're in the grocery store now. The strawberries did great this year. I need to get them put to bed. By putting the bed, I mean I need to weed eat them off and straw them in for the winter. Then that will be done for the year. Stevia.
Well, we had our onions.
Oh yeah, well, I did have onions in this bed right here.
And now it looks like we have a lot of mullein.
Mullein.
A whole lot of mullein growing.
And a tulip tree.
And a sunflower.
And a sunflower.
Thanks, birds.
Yeah, birds have put sunflowers everywhere here.
Everywhere. Okay, and this, with the stevia, I mean, look at all these guys. These are all droppings from birds. We did not intentionally put any of that there.
My
habaneros,
they were slow taking off, guys. I didn't think they were going to do anything. But,
and then once they grew and turned green, I think we've only had one change from green to kind of orangish. We still haven't had any turn red, but
I picked 3 yesterday that was orange.
Yeah.
Mint, out of control.
Yeah, if y'all unless you specifically want ground cover, y'all don't plant mint in raised beds. Put it in its own controlled, small container or larger container on itself. Otherwise, it takes over. We had 3 mint plants last year, y'all.
And here is...
Our banana peppers have done great this year, and now we have a volunteer gourd popping up, growing all over it.
Garlic. Can't complain at all with the garlic harvest. They weren't the size I wanted, but hey, I'll take it.
And some of them we planted upside down, which we think
help them. Asparagus was a little off this year, but hey, look at all this seed that's replanted.
Because we had a very early crop of this. It popped up almost a month earlier than it did last year.
So I think that hurt it. Potatoes.
If you haven't watched the potato stack video, go watch it. You can see our full harvest, but they did really, really well this year.
I was tickled with potatoes this year.
It blew last year's progress out of the water.
Yeah. This was lettuce and radishes. This was rabbit food. The rabbits got a lot of it. And I eat a bunch of radishes. The wedding bed. Ooh,
Yeah,
talk about
peppers, the plants themselves did not do, and now granted, obviously when we planted them, it was not overloaded in weeds. It's just that the plants themselves did not take off this year like they did last year. And I don't know if we just got some that were sick or what. I mean, we've harvested a few jalapenos and a few bell peppers, but that's it. I mean, last year's harvest, we had peppers coming out of our ears.
and look at our rose moss, begonias.
Yeah, the begonias have taken over the rose moss, and then all your
Marigolds
creeping
did good
Charlie.
this year. Creeping Charlie's everywhere.
Our loofah over here, we also planted some loofah on our trellis. And it's weird, and we've never grown loofah before. So if any of y'all have grown loofah, and you can answer this, our plants started to die. It trellised beautifully, but then the plants started to die. Well, now we have loofah. I don't know if that's part of the process, if it's part of the cycle that's when they do produce. I don't know. But we tried it the first time. This was definitely more of a success than the ones down in the garden.
Yeah.
And we'll try it again next year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, y'all, it's about 12:45 and the store opens at 1. So I'm gonna pass the GoPro off to Papa Bear here and let him conclude the rest of the tour with y'all so I can get ready to open the store. But before I depart, again, thank y'all so much for all your support. It really means the world to us. We're so humbled, and you know,
Yeah.
keep on keeping on with what y'all are doing, because we really couldn't do this without every one of you. So I'm gonna go get stuff ready for the store, and Papa Bear will, you know,
Yeah.
you're in good hands.
I'm
Good
gonna show
paws.
you some more weeds, guys. Come on. Yeah, but as Mama Bear said, you know, it's just absolutely amazing that, you know, we hit them magic numbers. Hard work pays off, and it don't matter how hard we worked. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have done it. But yeah, there's been I'm just trying to think of things that has happened over this journey. Like the week of VBS, we had the produce stand, and then we had VBS every night that week, and that one was probably our hardest week so far on YouTube, because we just didn't have time. Our time was very, very occupied, but we did. Hey, we prayed about it, and the good Lord provided. We were able to put out them videos when we didn't think we was going to be able to. So with that, you know, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but you guys don't realize how thankful we truly are for you guys watching and subscribing and all that good stuff. So that brings us down to the volunteer garden. Last year we grew 3 pigs, and this is the area they were in. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hog panels put up, and that was it. They didn't have a lot of room, but you know, pigs don't have to have that much room. But anyway, we fed these pigs, you know, everything. Tomatoes, anything that spoiled from town, the produce stand, we fed the pigs. Well, guess what? We had tomatoes growing out of our ears out of this volunteer garden. And another experiment crop that I'm trying, and I mean, as you guys will see, it came up. But this is popcorn. Now I think they're miniature popcorn, I'm hoping, and I believe it is, because the husk here are starting to turn brown, and that ain't much of an ear. But one thing I can't get over is, like, This here, it's got 1, 2, 3. They all got 3 to 4 ears on them. So that makes me think that it very well could be the miniature ears, little shorties. But I know we ain't harvested. I mean, I've eaten tomatoes out of here this, but not a bunch. And pumpkins. Oh man, it grew a bunch of pumpkins. As you can tell, we ain't had pigs for a little while because the weeds are crazy. Pumpkin. Look at all them ripe tomatoes there. That's a pumpkin. And then we get over here, and that's a lunch lady gourd. Lunch lady gourd. That's some type of pumpkin. And I think there's more in here. Right here's a pumpkin. And we did not plant any of these. These are just from what we was feeding the pigs from. Right here's one I got into when I dug this hole yesterday with a poso digger. And that's all going to be on its own videos, but yeah, so thankful for everything. I mean, like that garden, I have never watered it. You know, it had the fertilizer from the pigs being in there, but that's going to bring us back to our another sad growing garden we had. This was the green bean field. The groundhogs eat all my green beans. I could not keep them out. So I'm gonna have to work on that. And this ground down here it's the poorest little patch that I have for the ground for growing. As you can tell, it grows crabgrass pretty well, and got some foxtail, and that may be broom sage. I ain't real sure, but oh well. I mean, ain't no need to cry over spilt milk. It didn't do what I wanted it to, but I learned some stuff. I learned that groundhogs really like green beans and everything else that I grow. All right, that one, forget that one. It's in the past. Here's something that done really well for us. We was able to put some up, able to eat some. This is our 4th year for these 2 blueberry bushes, and as you can see, we had to net them, keep the birds out, but they done really well our 1st year. So I'm super happy about the blueberries, because I like blueberries. Okay, here's another one I want to show you guys. This is the 2nd year that this end of the porch just gets eaten by volunteers. Last year it was little white pumpkins. This year it's gourd. And we've never watered it, never fertilized it, never nothing. Just taken over. I like that. Now here is a what do I want to say? Okay, I had a great big idea that I was going to plant a whole field and sunflowers and do a you pick sunflower market thing for the store. So I done this one. As you can tell, they came up. The groundhogs worked on them, but they came up doing good. They had the weed shaded out fairly good, and the next thing I know, they're blooming. I'm like, all right, awesome. And then a week later, they just start dying off. You guys might think this is a failure, but on the other hand, it's not, because next week, I think, oh yeah, Mama Bear was telling me she's been seeing all kinds of finches down here, and I seen them today, and there was a bunch. Looks like the finches are getting my seeds. So, but what I said it's not a failure about is I'm gonna, well, see that head still there's still got all the seeds in it. I'm gonna come down here and cut all these heads off, put them in a like a corn bag, and store them, let them dry out, and then I'll be able to feed that to the chickens this winter, you know, when they need the extra energy, because sunflowers are high in. Hey guys, sorry about that. The GoPro decided it was too hot and shut off. Well guys, that's gonna end the video of the garden tour, and we hit 100 or hit 1,000 subscribers, and I can't thank you guys enough for everything you guys have done for us. And like now Mama Bear said earlier, we don't plan on slowing down, guys. We're still gonna bust out content every day. And with that, I'm gonna leave it there, and you know the drill. As always, my friends, keep on keeping on, because we love every single one of you.